Hello, Aries. Welcome to your July 2023 tarot card reading. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thanks to all for being here. July is a really cool month. We have a lot of astrological transits happening. We have a Venus retrograde going on. We have a nodal transit going on. Chiron is retrograding as well. So I think it's going to be kind of an eventful month, but it's going to be really, really good at the same time for most of us. So these videos are tarot predictions, so be sure to watch your sun, moon, or rising sign, whichever resonates with you the most. If you're here for love, you can also check out your Venus sign. I will be posting astrology videos as well, but I'm going to start posting those around the middle of the month so we can kind of cover the transition from one sign into the next. So in that video, I will absolutely be talking at length about the Venus retrograde, the nodal transits, and all the other things that are going on. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you want to be notified, please be sure to hit the little subscribe button with the little bell so you can see that notification. I've been getting so many messages of people asking me, Jane, where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. And I've been here. So just make sure you hit that because I think some people just aren't seeing my videos pop up. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into the reading. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing month. Take care. Hello, Aries. Welcome to your July 2023 tarot card reading. All right, well, we got a card already, which is the Magician. Now, the Magician is the beginning. It's an initiation of some kind. And I don't know what you have going on in your life or what's been going on, but I have a feeling that something new is beginning to brew. Now, you're probably not going to see a lot from this in July. Okay, it's a little too short term, I think. But I do think the whole of July is sort of kind of, I don't know, there's like a stewing or a brewing of something. And from that, something will materialize over the next several months. And one of the things that I've been saying a lot, and sorry if you've heard me repeat this a billion times, but the thing about Gemini and Cancer, these two seasons very specifically are really about alignment, okay? With Gemini, we have our mind going crazy. We have all new ideas. We're talking, we're learning, we're developing, we're growing, we're experimenting. And then in Cancer, our heart tends to speak. And usually our heart is going to align with something that our head has been saying or exploring or thinking about. And when that collision happens, that is when a real spark of creation is initiated. And that's kind of what that Magician is. It's the spark of an initiation, or the spark, the initiation of a new manifestation. So this is a time to be very open, to allow yourself to be guided spiritually, from a higher self perspective. And to not try to force yourself into any type of a box. And this is also a time to be soft. All right. Now, you can still live your life. Okay. We're going to have Mars coming into Virgo, which is going to activate your 6th house. So you're going to be busy. You're going to be focusing on your day-to-day, getting your schedules in order. You're going to be doing all sorts of things. And that's great. And that's fine. And you can do all of that. But when it comes to the really big picture stuff and how you're actually going to attain your big dream life, you're being quietly and softly nudged in the right direction right now. And if there's too much clutter and there's too much noise in your mind, or there are too many distractions, you're going to miss it. Okay, in the environment, we have the Page of Wands. I love a Page of Wands, especially because this is someone else. This isn't you. Okay, this is an external influence. What I love about it is how carefree they are. Now, this is someone that you might be friends with. It might be a sibling. It might be, someone that you work with, whatever the case is. But the way they approach life is very simple. They wake up in the morning and they say, okay, today, what is it that I get to do, right? They think of things as opportunities rather than burdens. What is it that I get to do today that brings me closer to my dream? And they approach things with a sense of excitement and enthusiasm, even if it is something that they don't particularly want to do. There's a really good attitude. All right. And maybe, and I'm not saying Aries has an attitude problem. I actually rarely see that, but maybe there is an attitude adjustment that is possible for you that's going to help this manifestation come to fruition a little bit sooner, or help you to be a little bit more receptive to things that are going on. Page of Wands is going to inspire you in an indirect way. I don't know that this is a person who has any direct influence in your life. It seems like someone that you are just observing. Maybe it's someone you don't even know. It might be someone you follow on social media, or someone that's just prominent within your community. If you don't know them, that's fine. But I think the reason this page is showing up is because there are certain characteristics that inspire you. You, to some degree, look at that person and you say, I kind of want to be like that. And it's not comparison, it's an approach. You like the way the Page of Wands approaches things. And this is adaptable. You can adapt this behavior. You can adapt this mindset. You can, instill or grow or awaken that within you. This is meant to be an inspiration. It's meant to help you stay motivated and focused. I don't know that this is anyone you need to impress. I don't know that this is anyone who, I don't know that they're paying attention to you. The reason they're here is just to help you in an indirect way. So what else, Aries? What else do you need to know for the month of July? We have the Four of Wands, beautiful. King of Swords. Actually, I feel like that top one, Six of Wands. Okay. Well, loving these cards so far. Four of Wands is a card of stability, meaning that you are in a really good place. And I think Jupiter in Taurus is making that really obvious. Okay. Jupiter in Taurus is advocating for stability. It's advocating for structure. It's advocating for keeping things simple and easy and uncomplicated. There will be enough time for complication next year when Jupiter comes into Gemini. That is a whole different animal. So right now we need to enjoy the fact that things are just the way they are, and it's a good place for us to grow from. So wherever we are, even if we're not entirely thrilled with it, it's a good place. And this is a place that we can really kind of strategize. And I look at this King of Swords, I say, this is Aries. Okay, this is where you can strategize and you can think and you can plan and you can really take your future seriously. I think right now Aries is wanting to be successful, wanting to be as successful as you possibly can, financially, romantically, professionally, and in any other capacity, right? And the trick here is, how do you get to that place? How do you get to that place of success that you're dying to get to? And this is not about being ungrateful or unappreciative for where you are or what you've been through. It's just that right now we are needing a materialistic expansion with Jupiter in Taurus. A lot of people are thinking about how to get more money or how to enhance their lifestyle in some way, shape, or form. So this is you thinking about how to do that. And when you're thinking about how to do it, remember there's an openness and a receptivity with this magician to create space for that initiation and for that spark. And this tells me that the alignment is actually really likely for you over the next couple of months. And whatever it is that surfaces, whatever it is that you land on, that's a really, really, really good route for you to take. And I see that with the Six of Wands, that there is a promise of success. There's a promise of victory along that route. So you can trust yourself right now, Aries. You don't have to second guess yourself. You don't have to come up with this whole list of justifications and reasons why it can't be a certain way. It can be that way. You can do it. It is possible. And you just have to follow that spark. You have to follow that feeling that something just feels right, even if you don't quite know exactly how it's going to come to fruition. You don't need to know how it's going to work. That's not the point of any of this. You just need to know that that's the way your needle is pointing, and you just need to start walking in that direction. All right. You're stable. You're good. There's really nothing for you to be afraid of. All right, there's no reason for you to hold back at all. Okay, Six of Cups, the Five of Wands. and the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, I don't think is you. I think you're coming out more like the King. To me, it feels a little bit more secure. And I'm kind of feeling like the Queen of Swords is involved in a little bit of drama. Now, as much as you would like to stay in your lane, whenever we have a Venus retrograde, especially in Leo, with Black Moon Lilith involved, by the way, it's very common for other people to be a part of our story. Venus has to do with other people and our relationships with them. So it's only natural that someone else would be showing up. I don't know that this other person is of the same mindset as you. Now, I don't know why I'm feeling this. Intuitively, I'm feeling like that Queen of Swords is a little bit pessimistic. And it's in stark contrast to your optimism and what you need. Aries needs optimism right now. And I think that's why the Page of Wands is coming through, because this is a source of optimism for you. It is a source of hope. If they can do it, you can do it. If they've been able to carve that path, if they can wake up every day with that attitude, regardless of their situation, Aries can do it too. And this person feels like a Debbie Downer. They feel, it's like, it kind of is icy. It's maybe a little too indecisive for Aries' liking right now. And it does create a bit of a problem. Now, the Five of Wands is not that big of a problem. It's not detrimental or fatal in any way, shape, or form. It's just like a kerfuffle, okay? It's like an argument or something that you have to deal with. It's annoying. And I think Aries will get annoyed with that Five of Wands. Aries, which kind of tends to have that short fuse anyway, especially with particularly irritating inconveniences. Your fuse probably will be short with that, and probably will be short with the Queen of Swords. Because I think right now what Aries genuinely needs is someone to back them up in terms of supporting their hopes and dreams. Aries needs someone to believe in them, especially if you have been struggling. And look, guys, Chiron in your sign is no joke. Chiron in your sign is a very difficult transit to go through, and it's not a fast one. So if your self, the image of yourself, your perception of yourself, your opinion of yourself, if any of that has taken a hit lately, even if it's merited or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it just happens internally, right? Because that Chiron can bring up all sorts of wounds and insecurities and all of that. So if that type of stuff has taken a hit lately or is currently taking a hit, it might be beneficial for you to get a source of support from somewhere else. Because as much as we would love to sit here and say, well, you can do it for yourself, we also know that having a support, having people around you, having a community to help lift you up can be so, so helpful. And I think that's what Aries needs right now more than anything, is a supportive, helpful community, a group of people that sees you and sees your value and encourages you to pursue this magician's path, encourages you to take on this strategy wholeheartedly and to go after what it is you're trying to build. You need people pushing you from behind. But this feels like it's pushing you from the front, like in the wrong direction, like it's going the opposite way. And this is going to really aggravate because it's so completely the opposite of what Aries needs. So you might need to have a meaningful conversation with whoever this Queen of Swords is. Maybe it's like, you really need to just stay out of my way, leave me alone. Please stop saying these things. It's not good for me. And maybe there are going to be some decisions here that Aries needs to say, I can't see you anymore. I can't talk to you anymore. Please leave me alone. That type of thing. And that's not going to be a fun conversation, but maybe it's necessary in order for you to get out of whatever place you've been in that you haven't liked. Okay? Some of you might need to fire a client if you have clients. Some of you might need to move to a new place. It's just like sometimes we get that pushback and we don't really understand why. And of course, it's clearly a projection of another person, which is clearly not Aries' problem. And it's not your problem to solve. And you can love this person, but you can't participate in this and still expect to see the massive progress that you're hoping to see. So let's see what else comes out. King. Nine of Coins. And a Three of Swords. Yeah, see, I do think someone is going to need to be disappointed. I don't think it's going to be you. I mean, well, I'm not going to say you're not going to be disappointed by this, because it can be a disappointing thing. The fact that you even have to have those types of conversations probably isn't going to make you feel all that great. Queen of Swords probably isn't going to like it. But the thing is that when I look at the King of Cups, it's not as though you don't have compassion. It's possible that this scenario here is reminiscent of a place that you used to be, right? I think you do have a lot of empathy for this queen because you've been there. You've walked in her shoes before. You know what that mindset is like. You know what that resistance is like. You know what that self-destructive stuff is like. So yes, you can offer compassion, but I also don't think you're going to be enabling this in any way, shape, or form. This is why, maybe there is going to be a big separation. Now, it is a Venus retrograde. Black Moon Lilith is involved. We also have a Saturn retrograde in the 12th house for you guys. And 12th house Saturn absolutely is about unraveling long-standing structures that have been in your life. If this is someone or something or a situation that has been long-standing in your life, it is no surprise that it is beginning to dissolve, and its hold that it has had over you no longer has any power. This really, actually, now that I'm saying that, this really is about taking power away from things. And maybe the removal of power from this is feeding power to this magician. And this is why the magician is possible for you right now. You have to understand how fragile and delicate the magician actually is. This is just a potential. There's nothing real yet with the magician. All right, there's not a lot of momentum here, and this spark can fizzle out like that. You have to be so careful and protective of what's going on here. You have to protect your time. You have to protect your privacy. Go behind closed doors, right? Whatever it is to keep this noise out. And you can empathize and you can be compassionate all you want, but I suggest you do it from a distance. Because if you don't do it from a distance and you try to do it close up, you're just going to get sucked right back into this Five of Wands. It's not a surprise that this Five of Wands is in the very center of the reading. It has a strong degree of gravity. It pulls, it sucks you in. All right, it's hard to kind of climb out of it. But it sounds like you're already out of it. So it's like someone's trying to bring you back in. And you're going to have to be strong and say, no, absolutely, I will not come back in. This is when community is going to be really important. And I'm looking at this Six of Cups and it feels like a leg up or a lending hand. Leaning on people who are mentors or advisors or counselors or people who have already done what it is you're trying to do. Leaning on people with the mindset that you would like to have. Right? Leaning on that. And there's a lot of that type of stuff available, so it's not like you're kind of being hung out to dry here. There's a lot of different things you can grab onto to keep you out of this. And with the Nine of Coins, and I love the Nine of Coins with the Six of Wands because it's just more reiteration, more reassurance that you're going to be successful, that whatever this is that you're planning and strategizing and whatever this spark of creation is, if you really go for it and you really show up for it and you nurture it and you feed it and you give it everything it needs to grow, you are going to do exceptionally well. financially, romantically, and in all the areas of your life that you're concerned about. This is a story of success for Aries. This is a story of prosperity and profitability. All right, this is not a story of failure, but there are going to be opposing forces. The reason these types of things show up, like when you're going in one direction, it's common for things that come out in the opposite direction to show up in your life, because everything kind of has to have that balance, and everything that is needs to have its companion is not. And if you recognize this as this is your is not for your is, if I can, sorry, I'm not trying to make it complicated, but this is you and this is what you are not. It is a contrast that is necessary for the scales of justice to always be balanced. You know, it's just what needs to be. So maybe that type of approach, that perspective can help you deal with this a little bit better. You're never going to get rid of it, but you can distance yourself from it. So let's pull out an oracle card, and then we'll pull out the clarifiers to get a little bit more information here. Let's see, final card for Aries. What is it Aries needs to know here? We have patience and planning. Yeah, I don't think a lot of this is moving super fast. The Magician is not a fast card. There will come a point, probably through Virgo season, where everything really starts to speed up and it kind of gets a little chaotic. And then next year especially, it's going to speed up. But I am in no way, shape, or form putting any time pressure on anyone while Jupiter is in Taurus and Saturn is in Pisces. Even Pluto back in Capricorn now. It's just like we're not in the place to rush, really. You can take your time to kind of figure out this alignment, to kind of make sure you feel really good about it. You can take your time to strategize and plan your next steps. You know, you can definitely do that. You can take your time to find the sources of inspiration that you need, to find your community to help do all of this. So I think if you take time out of the equation and you don't set any, like, well, I have to do it in the next 6 months. If you're not doing that, you're going to be much, much better off. Even if you have a big company, and I know big companies always have quotas and all of that, but you know, I don't know. I think performance will be better if you kind of give yourself some slack. Okay? All right, let's pull out the clarifiers. So we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards I'm about to pull out in the comprehensive reading. The link for that is in the description box down below. So if you want to join, you are absolutely more than welcome. So let's take a look here at this Magician card. What else does Aries need to know about this Magician? Beautiful. Hierophant, one of my favorite cards. We have the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. In the environment, we have, for the Page of Wands, Ace of Coins, the Knight of Swords, and the Moon. Beautiful. All right. Moon's been coming out quite a bit this month. That's kind of been a recurring card over and over. So we have the 4 of Wands. What else does Aries need to know? Strength. Queen of Coins. Love that. 3 of Swords. 5 of Coins. Another Knight of Swords and a 6 of Coins. The Emperor, beautiful. 8 of Cups. Knight of Wands. I like the Knights. I'm liking the Knight energy this month. We have a 3 of Coins. 2 of Wands. 7 of Wands, Page of Cups, a Queen of Cups, and a Magician. Ace of Wands, the Star, Okay, I actually really like this annoying situation because of how much it gets you to commit to your new path. So, like, there's a reason why you're experiencing pushback or drama, or you're experiencing a difficult personality. Okay, there's a reason for that. And it's because you're on the right track. All right, so we have the King of Cups. What else do we need to know about him? We have the Sun, beautiful. Temperance. Page of Wands. Ooh, another Four of Wands. I'm actually excited for Aries financially. Another Nine of Coins, okay. Hanged Man. King of Swords, Chariot. And see, one of the things about transits, for example, Jupiter in the second house, which has a lot to do with money and our financial gain, usually we start to see the effects of that after the transit is over. So next year, you're going to see a lot of the effects of this year's actions that were inspired by Jupiter in the second house. So there is money on the table. It just probably won't show up quite yet. All right? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much, Aries. I love you. Have a good month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.